My name is Lennox Hart, and Miami humidity feels like a weighted vest. By 5 a.m., Brickell is a mirage of glass and pale orange sky, and I'm jogging past the river with my playlist thumping in my bones. The city isn't awake yet, but the yachts are, glowing like smug ghosts. I love this hour because it's quiet enough to hear the deal you made with yourself. One more mile, one more rep, one more chance. I'm 27, a personal trainer with a waiting list and a stubborn need to do things the right way. I built my signature 8-week program the way you build a body: slow, deliberate, brutal. I logged every adjustment in a notes app and an old-school black notebook, sweat blurred and corner bent. I had whiteboard sketches, voice memos, pre-launch testers, receipts for days. I called it Heartline. Heart my name. Line, because it pulls you forward. The studio smelled like citrus cleaner and burned coffee when I unlocked at 6. I flipped on the lights, the mirrors slicing me into versions. The brick wall wore my neon sign, Heartline divided by Show Up Harder. The mats were still warm from yesterday. My assistant, Danny, arrived balancing a tray of cafecitos and a laptop bag like a tightrope walker. "You look like you beat the sunrise again," she said, sliding me a paper cup. "Today's full. You sure you don't want to cap at 15? I took a burning sip, shook my head. If they show up, I show up. At 7, my first client arrived: Sloane Avery, 24, influencer energy, before she had the following. Eyes like bottled water, phone always filming, a hunger that made her charming to everyone who didn't have to keep up with her tempo. Sloane had signed on 3 months ago with a DM that read like a manifesto. "I'm serious about changing my life. I'll listen. I'll work. I need someone real." She was a quick study with form but a chronic negotiator with discomfort. She'd whine, laugh, and then surprise you by holding a plank longer than she thought she could. I liked her. Against my better judgment, I rooted for her on and off the mat. We did day 3 of Heartline: tempo squats, banded walks, rower sprints. She wore a mic clipped to her sports bra, collecting content like air. "Say something badass," she panted mid-sprint, angling the camera toward me. "Consistency is sexy," I said without looking up. She cackled. "I'm stealing that. Tag me when you do." I should have paid more attention to that moment. Stealing can start as a joke and end as a business model. By noon, the studio pulsed with effort. I cued breath, corrected knees, counted down like a metronome with an edge. Between sessions, I tweaked programming for my soft launch next month, just the first cohort, 20 spots, ebook plus videos. I'd been building this for years, but I wanted it perfect. That's the curse of being a trainer who overthinks your muscles. Don't let you move until your brain signs off. After the lunch rush, I checked my phone. My notifications were a Vegas marquee: tags, DMs, a text from my mom with a string of hearts, and a message request at the top from a username I didn't recognize. At Lift with Luna. I tapped it open. "Hey girl, weird Q, did you rebrand Heartline?" Seeing a program called Heartline in my feed that looks identical, pics and all, the word identical dropped like a kettlebell in my stomach. I clicked the tag. It opened a glossy landing page linked in a bio. Pastels, a sunrise palette, and a serif font that tried to make discipline look delicate. The program was called Heartline, with a cute heart icon threading through the E. The photos punched me first. My studio. My mirror wall. My white tape X's on the floor for foot alignment that I swear I invented at 2 in the morning. And Sloane, front and center, demoing movements against my brick wall, with my neon sign expertly blurred, but still undeniably mine. Slide 2. A before and after that was very much my client. Jade, a nurse who cried when she did her first pull-up and who never consented to being a marketing asset for a stranger. I zoomed in until the pixels broke. The captions read like my voice, softened and cleaned. "Tempo is truth. Your future self is watching." I clicked About. "Program developed by trainer to the influencers, Sloane Avery," it chirped. "Proprietary Heartline method. 8 weeks to pull yourself forward." I dropped the phone on the desk and laughed. It wasn't funny. Danny looked up, eyes narrowing. What? I picked up the phone again and handed it over. She scrolled in silence, jaw clenching. No way. No way. I felt the heat first, rising from my sternum to my face. Then the shake in my hands, the one I get when I PR a deadlift, and the barbell reminds me I'm made of limits and will. I breathed through my nose to steady it. I'm the trainer. Trainers don't break in front of clients or assistants or anyone. But under the professionalism, there was a crushing, clean hurt. It wasn't just the theft. It was the betrayal in its hands. I had taught Sloane where to put her feet, how to brace her core, how to show up when nobody was watching. I'd asked about her sleep and her salt and the mess behind her shut doors. She'd answered like we were building something together. We were. She just sold it without me. Danny set the phone down carefully, like it might explode. We're lawyering up, right? I nodded slowly. First, we lock down proof. I have a folder for my program called Heartline Bones. It's obsessive. Timestamps, drafts, tester spreadsheets, progress shots, voice notes. I opened my laptop and scrolled like a woman who knows her house is on fire and is checking the fire extinguisher's expiration date anyway. There it all was. The sequence logic, the annotations. Swap split squats week 4 for tendon health. The day I wrote "Consistency is sexy" in a voice memo because I liked how it sounded in my mouth. The text with Jade asking to use her photos with consent for my eventual launch. Her yes. Her heart emoji. I recorded my screen and started stitching a timeline in iMovie receipts over music that smelled like blood. I narrated under my breath. July 10, concept sketch. July 18, beta test, week 1. August 2, form tweak. August 7, Jade's consent. August 14, Sloane session, she's wearing that green set. It was all here. I checked Sloane's Instagram again. Her stories were a parade of confidence in a bikini and a caption about launch day. A countdown timer hugged the corner, pink and excited. She posted a reel announcing Heartline. The hook was a split screen. Her smiling, and a list of bullet points that were my bullet points. Just run through a blender. 8 weeks. 3 phases. Tempo strength. Cardio finishers you'll actually do. Community. Accountability. Results. I watched my work talk to me in her voice. My phone buzzed on the desk. My screen lit up with a text from an unknown number. Hey Lennox, so excited for you. I just bought Heartline. Sloane said you trained her, so I figured it was your program. Can't wait to start. Marissa from Pure Barre. I swallowed, the taste metallic. I typed back, hey Marissa, please don't start yet. I need to check something. Send. The studio kept moving. Clients came in, bodies needing cues and kindness. I coached. I pretended I was fine. I kept my hands steady and my voice even. Inside, I was counting seconds like someone strapped to a bomb. At 3, Sloane showed up for her scheduled session. She breezed in with oversized sunglasses and an even bigger grin. Her phone was live. Her followers were perched like pigeons on a wire in the camera view. Say hi to Lennox, she chirped to the phone. She's my secret weapon. Not so secret anymore, I said, voice sugar over glass. She flinched like a cat hearing a hiss. The live kept rolling. I gestured at the rack. We're doing tempo deadlifts. 3 seconds down, 1 up. The Heartline way. Her jaw twitched. She ended the live abruptly. Lennox, she said, holding the word like a shield. I was going to tell you. When? I asked. Before or after you trademarked my method? She blinked. It's not your method. It's inspiration. Everyone does tempo. I just put it together in my way. With my photos. In my studio. I blurred your sign. My laugh came out in a shard. You blurred my sign. She glanced toward the mirrors, then back at me, voice dipping into coaxing. Look, we can collaborate. I'll tag you. I'll cut you in later. I'm the face they follow me. You're the genius behind the curtain. It's a win-win. The way she said genius behind the curtain felt like someone patting a dog that wouldn't bite. I don't hide, I said softly. And I don't steal. Her cheeks flamed. Neither do I. Then cancel your launch. She shook her head, the decision already old. I can't. It's live. People paid. Silence spread between us, thick as heat. The rowers hummed in the next room like faint static. Finally, she squared her shoulders. If you want to send an invoice for a consult or whatever, do it. But don't make this messy online. It's a bad look for both of us. She left a coffee ring on my front desk and a hurricane in my chest. Danny appeared from the back with a look that could sharpen knives. What do we do? I stared at the door Sloane had walked through and felt the old Lennox, the one who kept her head down and waited her turn, try to climb into the driver's seat. I pushed her aside. We don't fight dirty, I said. We fight documented. I spent the next 2 hours assembling everything: screenshots with timestamps, contracts, consent forms, before and afters. The iMovie timeline grew teeth. I recorded a voiceover on my cheap podcast mic, no makeup, no cute filter, my face an honest map of fury and hurt. I'm Lennox Hart, I said to the waveform. And this is the story of Heartline, the program I built, and the way it was taken. I saved the file. Just as I was exporting, my email pinged. Legalese subject line: cease and desist. It was from a Los Angeles firm I'd heard of. The letter accused me of infringing on the Heartline method and attempting to confuse consumers. My throat closed around a sound I didn't want to name. Danny squeezed my shoulder. They sent a C&D? Are you kidding me? No, I said, hearing my voice from far away. They came to play. My phone lit up with an unknown number from California. I stared at it until it stopped ringing, then started again. On the third ring, I answered. Miss Hart, a slick voice said, smooth as a lobby marble floor. This is Nathan Klein, counsel for Miss Avery. We need to talk about your little video. I glanced at the export bar crawling toward 100%. Felt the tremor in my hands sharpen into something steadier. Perfect, I said, because I have a lot to say. The line clicked, and he started speaking fast. I hit record on my second phone and held it to the speaker. The Miami heat had turned cruel by the time I left the studio. The kind of humidity that presses against your ribs and reminds you that even breathing can be resistance training. I had my laptop in one hand, phone in the other, still recording. Nathan Klein's voice oozed through the speaker like oil on concrete. Let me make this simple, he said. Heartline is a registered trademark under my client's name. Any public claim that you created it constitutes defamation and interference with business. Defamation? I said, crossing the street. The smell of salt and exhaust wrapped around me. You might want to Google proof before you throw that word around. He chuckled slow, patronizing. I understand this feels personal, but my client's followers are impressionable, and she's worked very hard to build her brand. Let's not make this uglier than it has to be. She built her brand using my materials, I said. Every word, every photo, every cue. I have receipts for every pixel. Then, by all means, he replied smoothly, present them. But in the meantime, take down that video. Consider this your warning. Click. The line went dead. I stood there for a beat, the city honking and pulsing around me, the voice memo still running. My heart was a sprint interval. Danny texted. Danny, you okay? Me. He threatened me. Donnie. Lawyer up, now. By the time I got home to my tiny apartment off Biscayne, the sunset had melted into gold through the blinds. I dumped my gear bag on the floor and opened my laptop. The iMovie timeline was still on the screen, my voice raw, the evidence lined up like ammo. The export bar was at 100%. I dragged the file into Final Cut, cleaned up the audio, added screenshots, side-by-side clips of my workouts versus Sloane's stolen reels. I zoomed in on the details. The same floor tape, the same cues, the same transitions down to the way I snapped my fingers before a finisher. I wasn't just angry anymore. I was surgical. The final title card read, Receipts Don't Lie, The Real Story of Heartline. I hovered over Upload. My reflection stared back at me in the laptop screen, sweaty, furious, and unsure. Once it's up, there's no going back. I could ruin her brand overnight. Or ruin mine if it backfired. My phone buzzed again, Instagram notification, at Sloan Avery Official. So much love for everyone joining the Number Heartline Challenge. Week 1 starts Monday. Tag me in your transformations. Comments flooded in beneath it, people buying, praising, tagging friends. I clicked record on my webcam. No script, no filter, just me. Hey everyone, I said quietly. My name's Lennox Hart. I'm a personal trainer in Miami, and I built something called Heartline. You might have seen a program called Heartline floating around. If so, you deserve to know the truth. I kept it calm. No cursing, no tears. Just facts, screenshots, timestamps, side-by-side footage. I ended it with, I'm not here to cancel anyone. I'm here to reclaim my work. The receipts are in the description. I hit upload. By morning, my phone was a crime scene of notifications. 50,000 views, then 100, then 500,000. Hashtags spun off on TikTok. Number Heartline not Heartline. Number Train with Lennox. Number Receipts don't lie. My DM requests filled with trainers, influencers, and clients saying the same thing. We knew it. We've seen her copy people before. Danny FaceTimed me mid-coffee. Her hair a hurricane. Girl, you broke the internet. Everyone's talking about it. Even Fitness Nation reposted your video. What? I blinked. The big one? Yup, caption said. Original creators deserve credit. You're trending. For a second, hope flickered, warm, fragile, almost dangerous. Then came the pushback. Sloan posted a video. She was crying perfectly lit, mascara smudged just enough to look real. This is so hard for me, she sniffed. I looked up to Lennox. She inspired me. I never meant to steal anything. I just learned from her, and now she's trying to destroy me. She called me a jealous ex-coach. Said I bullied her privately. Said my followers were harassing a woman just trying to empower others. The comments turned fast. Two sides to every story. She's just mad Sloan blew up first. Receipts can be faked. The same night, someone leaked my business email. Hate mail. Threats. Reviews tanking my Google rating overnight. Danny texted. Danny, she's weaponizing her fan base. You need a PR plan. Me. I need a lawyer. I barely slept. The next morning, my landlord slid an envelope under my door, formal letterhead. My lease was being reevaluated due to complaints. Complaints. About me. Someone had spammed my building with flyers that said, Trainer under investigation for fraud. Do not support. I tore one off the wall, hands shaking. Who does that? By noon, I was at a cafe with Danny. Laptop open, eyes dry from scrolling comments I should have ignored. Okay, she said, pushing a notebook toward me. You've got 3 options. Shoot. 1. Go dark. Let it blow over. 2. Double down, drop part 2 of your video with even more proof. Or 3. She hesitated. 3. Take it to court. Court. The word hung heavy between us. Lawyers cost money, I muttered. Not if you win. And girl, look at this. She flipped her phone around, showing me a DM from a verified account. At Jax. Fit-esque. Hey Lennox, I'm a fitness industry attorney. Saw your video. You've got a case. Call me. I read it twice. You're kidding. Nope, Danny said. He reps influencers and creators. The good kind. I stared at the message. My pulse thudded in my neck. I typed back. Thanks. When can we talk? His reply came 30 seconds later. Now, call me. Jax's voice was steady, confident, the kind of tone that sounds like it's already won once or twice before breakfast. First off, he said, you did the right thing. You documented everything before you posted. That matters. Second, she overplayed her hand, sending that cease and desist. We can use it. You think I have a shot? I asked. Not just a shot, a strong case. But we need to move fast before she controls the narrative. You're sitting on something bigger than a stolen program, Lennox. This is a story about creators fighting for ownership. People care about that. He paused, but be prepared, it's gonna get uglier before it gets clean. I looked out the cafe window, where the ocean glittered like it didn't care about trademarks or betrayal. I've been through ugly, I said. I can handle it. He chuckled. Good. Then start by forwarding me everything. Emails, screenshots, timestamps, and don't delete a single comment, even the nasty ones. They tell a story too. That night, I organized everything into folders, digital armor. I could almost hear Jax's voice, coaching me through it. Proof folder, cease and desist folder, hate comments folder. Each ping of the file upload felt like reclaiming a muscle I'd lost. Then, a DM slid in from a burner account. At Anonymous, you don't know me, but check this link before it disappears. She's lying about her development footage. Watch closely. The link opened a private Dropbox folder raw behind-the-scenes clips from Sloane's Heartline promo shoot. In one, I could hear her laughing off camera. Wait, how did Lennox cue this again? Oh right, brace before you break. Haha, that's cute, I'll use that. The videographer laughed. Won't she notice? Sloane smirked. She doesn't have the platform to stop me. My stomach dropped. There it was. Proof that she knew. Danny was right. Receipts don't lie, but people do. I sat back, watching the ocean fade to dark through my window. The glow of the laptop the only light left. If I post this, I thought, it'll destroy her. If I don't, she'll destroy me. And somewhere between justice and vengeance, I realized I was starting to blur too. My phone buzzed. Jax, you still awake? We've got a move to make. I opened the message. His next text read, tomorrow morning, go live. Don't say anything yet. Just listen. I frowned. Listen to what? Before I could ask, he sent a screenshot, an email thread between Sloane's lawyer and a PR rep. Subject line, Crisis Control Plan, exposing Lennox Hart. They were planning a counterattack, and I was about to walk right into it. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her smirking behind that blurred neon sign, my sign saying words I'd written, like she'd invented them between sets of squats. By sunrise, Miami was already sweating. The sky looked like a bruise fading from pink to gold. I stood at my kitchen counter with a mug of black coffee, watching the notification counter on my phone spin like a slot machine. My stomach felt hollow. Jax had texted at 2 a.m. Jax, stay calm. Go live at 9. Don't react, just observe. No details, no plan, just that. I didn't like being told to wait. I'm a trainer, not a spectator, but I trusted him enough to bite down on my impulse. So at 9 a.m. sharp, I went live. The ring light flickered on, washing the circles under my eyes into something halfway human. Morning, everyone, I said, forcing a small smile. I know you've all seen what's been going on. I just wanted to say thank you for the messages. I'm reading them, even if I can't respond to all of them right now. The chat exploded. We got your back, Lennox. Sue her. Don't let her gaslight you. I kept my tone steady. Today, I'm not here to rant. I just want to listen. Then I hit the Add Guest feature. A new window opened, and there she was. Sloane Avery. Perfect hair, glossy lips, that calculated half-frown influencers wear when they're being real. The chat went feral. I felt my jaw tighten. She smiled. All teeth and camera control. Hey, Lennox. Glad you finally decided to talk to me like adults. Funny, I said. Adults usually talk before the lawyers. She sighed, dramatic. You left me no choice. You slandered me publicly. Slander, I echoed. I showed proof. Her tone softened the switch that made her followers swoon. Look, I know you feel hurt, but this is just a misunderstanding. You didn't patent tempo workouts or motivational phrases. I'm not talking about phrases, I said, leaning closer. I'm talking about files, photos, clients you used without consent. Clients who reached out to me after you posted about them, she shot back. They gave permission. I have DMs. I blinked. Excuse me? She smiled wider. You'll see. My team's releasing our side later today, full receipts. The truth. The word truth made something sharp spark in my chest. She kept going. You can play the victim all you want, Lennox. But you don't own fitness. Maybe focus on your own business instead of tearing down mine. Then she ended the stream. Just like that. The chat blew up 1,000 opinions screaming through my phone. What the fuck? She's lying. She said she's dropping receipts? My heart hammered. I ended the stream before I said something that would end up in court. Within minutes, Danny called. You saw that, right? She said, half shouting. Oh, I saw it. She's setting you up. She's gonna fake proof or twist screenshots. You know how easy it is to edit timestamps. Yeah, I said, staring at the ceiling. And the internet eats drama faster than truth. Then came the ping. A new post on Sloane's page. Setting the record straight, my truth about the Heartline situation. I opened it. It was a 7-minute video, perfectly edited, cinematic lighting, soft piano music. She told her followers that she and I had collaborated on Heartline and that I'd agreed verbally to let her use elements of my program. She even showed a screenshot of an old text from me that read, "Take it and make it your own." Except, I remembered that text. It was about a caption, not a program. I'd sent it when she asked to repost a motivational quote I wrote months ago. Out of context, it looked damning. I scrolled through the comments, my stomach twisting. She literally told Sloane to use it. Why's Lennox lying now? Unfollowed. I hate drama. The numbers were turning. My followers were dropping like sweat beads on turf. I called Jax. You seeing this? I am, he said, calm as ever. And I need you to breathe. She just doctored evidence. Probably, but that's good. I frowned. Because she's trying too hard. People who are truly innocent don't need to fake context. We'll expose it. But first, you need to stay off live for now. Let her dig her own hole. I can't just stay quiet while she. You can, and you will, he cut in. Trust me. By tomorrow, I'll have something for you. I bit my tongue and nodded. That evening, I went for a run along the bay to clear my head. The water shimmered, but my reflection looked like a stranger, someone angrier, colder. Every stride pounded with her words. You don't own fitness. By mile 3, my lungs burned. By mile 5, my eyes did. When I got back to my apartment, Danny was waiting on FaceTime with a smirk. Guess what? She said. Someone just leaked her receipts. I blinked. What do you mean? She flipped her camera around a Reddit thread with the headline, Evidence Sloane Avery stole Heartline program files, leaked Google Drive links. The top comment read, File metadata shows created by L. Hart months before Sloane's claimed development date. There were screenshots, 2 backend upload dates, my file names, even the raw PDF versions of my Heartline guide, rebranded with her pastel logo slapped over mine. Proof. Undeniable. Where did this come from? I whispered. No idea, Danny said. Anonymous account. But it's everywhere now. Twitter, TikTok, Reddit. People are switching sides fast. My phone lit up with mentions, duets, commentary videos, dissecting her lies. One influencer said, Yo, this is worse than plagiarism, it's identity theft. Another, she's done. This is career ending. I should have felt vindicated. I should have felt triumphant. Instead, I felt empty. Because the internet wasn't talking about truth, it was talking about drama. It wasn't justice, it was spectacle. At midnight, Jax called. You saw the leaks? Yeah, he exhaled. We didn't release those. Which means someone close to her did. I frowned. Her assistant? Videographer? Maybe. Doesn't matter yet. What matters is, she's panicking. I just got an email from her lawyer asking for a meeting. Why? They're offering a settlement. My stomach flipped. Already? Yeah. Probably trying to shut you up before this gets worse. They'll want you to sign an NDA and retract your video. I stared at the wall. And if I don't? Then we keep going. Court, press, full exposure. But that'll drag you through hell, Lennox. You sure you're ready for that? Silence. The city outside my window pulsed like a heartbeat. Steady, alive, unforgiving. I thought about every rep, every 4A, M, Client, every dollar I'd saved, building Heartline. Then I thought about her face, the way she smiled when she said, "You don't have the platform to stop me." I clenched my jaw. "Yeah," I said finally. "I'm ready." "Good," Jack said. "Then tomorrow, we meet their team. No settlement unless it includes one thing." "What's that?" He paused. "Public admission." I smiled for the first time in days. Perfect. But just as I hung up, a notification flashed across my screen, a private message request from someone named at ProofHunter89. The preview read, "Careful who you trust, Lennox. Jax isn't who he says he is." My heart stopped. The message just sat there, pulsing in the corner of my phone screen like a heartbeat I didn't want to acknowledge. "Careful who you trust, Lennox. Jax isn't who he says he is." My first reaction was denial. No way, not him. He'd been my anchor through the chaos, calm, strategic, protective. The kind of person who made you feel like there was a roadmap through the wreckage. But the more I stared at that message, the heavier it felt. I clicked the profile, at ProofHunter, 8, 9. No posts, no followers, just a black profile picture. Anonymous. Classic troll move. Still, something about it made my skin tighten. I screenshotted it and sent it to Danny. Weird message. Probably nothing. Danny. Girl. Probably nothing is how every bad decision starts. She wasn't wrong. Still, I didn't have time to spiral. I had a meeting in less than 2 hours with Sloane's legal team. At 10 a.m., I walked into the glass tower that smelled like cold air and intimidation. Jax was already there, waiting in the lobby, wearing a slate gray suit and that easy confidence that made everyone else's shoes squeak louder. He smiled when he saw me. "You ready?" "As I'll ever be." We took the elevator up to the 17th floor. My reflection in the mirrored walls looked too composed to match the storm inside me. When the doors opened, we stepped into a boardroom lined with city views and bottled water that cost more than my rent. Across the table sat Sloane, in designer beige, and her lawyer Nathan, the same slick voice from that first phone call. "Miss Hart," Nathan said smoothly. "Thank you for coming. Let's get straight to it." I nodded, saying nothing. He slid a folder across the table. "Our client is willing to offer a settlement of $50,000, contingent on you retracting your defamatory statements, removing your video, and agreeing not to make future claims regarding the Heartline brand." 50,000, that was almost a year's income. Enough to patch every hole this fight had blown through my life. But the number didn't tempt me. Not after what she'd done. Jax leaned forward. "We appreciate the offer," he said, tone polite but razor sharp. "However, Miss Hart's demands are different. She's not interested in silence money. She wants credit." Nathan blinked. "Credit?" "Yes," Jack said. "A public acknowledgement that Heartline was created by Lennox Hart. That Heartline was derived from it. Plus damages for unauthorized commercial use." Sloane's face twitched a tiny flicker of panic under the gloss. Nathan smiled tightly. "That's not happening." "Then we're done," Jack said, standing. But before he could step away, Sloane spoke. "Wait." Her voice cracked, not for the camera this time, but real, small, trembling. "Lennox, this wasn't supposed to get this far. I didn't think it would blow up like this." I stared at her. "You didn't think stealing would blow up?" "I didn't steal," she snapped. "I used your foundation, sure, but I built on it. I made it something bigger. I promoted it. You monetized it," I said. "That's not growth, that's theft with marketing." She swallowed hard, looking down. For a second, I thought she might actually apologize. Then Nathan cleared his throat. "If that's your stance, Miss Avery, there's nothing more to discuss." We left. In the elevator, I finally exhaled. Jax was quiet, scrolling through his phone. "You good?" I asked. He nodded. "They're bluffing. The settlement offer means they're scared. Once we file, they'll fold." But his eyes didn't quite meet mine. And that message from the anonymous account replayed in my mind. Jax isn't who he says he is. Later that night, I got another DM. Same sender. "Check this before tomorrow. Don't tell him." Attached was a PDF. The subject line read, Klein and Partners Representation Agreement. Client Jackson Reed. My breath hitched. I opened it. The contract dated 6 months earlier between Jax Reed and Nathan Klein, Sloane's lawyer. My stomach dropped. The document listed Jax as a consultant for influencer brand crisis management, specifically assisting Sloane Avery. He'd been working for her all this time. My fingers trembled as I called Danny. She answered on the first ring. What's wrong? He's not my lawyer, I said. He's hers. What? No, that can't. I'm looking at the contract. He's been feeding her information. Every file, every receipt I sent him, he's had access. Silence. Then Danny's voice, shaking. Lennox, you have to go public. Right now. I shook my head. Not yet. If I go off half-cocked, they'll spin it again. I need proof he's still working with her. Something irrefutable. Then how do you get that? I stared out my window, the city lights glittering like false promises. By making him think I still trust him. The next morning, I called Jax like nothing had happened. Hey, I said lightly. So, what's our next move? He chuckled. You're quick. I like that. I was thinking maybe we should get ahead of the narrative, post a teaser about the legal process. Something to scare them. He paused, just long enough to confirm my suspicion. Yeah, he said slowly. Good idea. Send me the draft first, though. I'll review it. Gotcha. I hung up, heart pounding. Danny texted. Danny, you're playing with fire. Me. So's he. So's he. That night, I made a screen recording while forwarding him a fake file, a decoy, draft, supposedly containing sensitive information. The document's metadata was tagged. If he sent it anywhere, I'd know. At 10:43 p.m., my phone buzzed with a notification from a file tracker. Alert. File settlement. Draft. Docsys. Accessed from IP 192.78. 43.219 Los Angeles. Nathan Klein's office. I felt the heat surge through me, not anger, not fear. Power. I called Danny. We got him. What now? She whispered. Now, I said, opening a new project in Final Cut. We make sure the world does too. I started dragging clips into the timeline. Jax's messages, his voice notes, the time-stamped access alert. Every betrayal, every polished lie, lined up for everyone to see. This wasn't just about Heartline anymore. This was about the truth, all of it. But as I exported the file, another notification popped up on my screen. Sloane Avery has gone live, exposing the real Lennox Hart. I clicked it. Her face filled the screen, tears perfectly placed. And behind her, on the wall, was my video file. The one I'd just made. The title still visible in the corner. Proof, Jax, betrayal, move. She had it before I even uploaded it. My blood ran cold. For a few seconds, I couldn't even breathe. There she was, Sloane, lived to tens of thousands, with my file glowing behind her like a trophy. My title. My edit. My proof. I hadn't even uploaded it yet. How the hell? I whispered, staring at the screen. Danny called instantly. She's streaming your video, Lennox. She's got your screen cap, your timeline, everything. She must have hacked me, I said, pacing. My laptop fan screamed like it was panicking too. Or, Jax. Danny's silence confirmed it. He leaked it to her. Sloane's voice kept pouring from my phone speaker. Smooth, fake fragile. This is the kind of manipulation I've been dealing with. She fabricates things, she spies on people. Look, she even set up her lawyer as a decoy, so she could trap me. Every word twisted the knife deeper. I just want peace, she said, blinking on cue. But I can't let someone ruin my reputation with lies. The chat was a bonfire. Oh my God, she's scary. So, Lennox planted evidence? Unsubscribing. It felt like watching my own name bleed out in real time. Then she ended the stream abruptly, dramatically leaving the internet foaming at the mouth. Within an hour, blogs picked it up. Trainer feud explodes as secret recordings leak. Did Lennox Hart try to frame her ex-client? Every headline felt like a punch. By morning, I'd lost 30% of my followers. Sponsors paused partnerships. My landlord emailed again about noise complaints. But none of that compared to the message that landed in my inbox at 7 a.m. Subject: You're next. Body: Stop posting or we post everything. Attached: a blurred thumbnail of my personal folder, the one with old videos, voice notes, half-written journals, private stuff. My throat tightened. Danny burst through my door 15 minutes later, still in pajamas. "We need to go to the police." I shook my head. "They'll say it's civil. They won't touch influencer drama." "Then what?" I looked at her, and something inside me shifted, that quiet click when resolve locks in. "They want to play games online? Fine, we'll end it online." We drove to my studio. The smell of rubber mats and lemon cleaner hit like memory. This was mine. I opened my laptop on the front desk, pulled up the raw metadata from my Heartline files, creation dates, server backups, Dropbox logs that traced back 2 years. None of it touched, none of it faked. "This," I said, tapping the screen, "is how you bury a lie with code." Danny grinned. "You're going nuclear." "Not yet." Controlled detonation. At noon, I went live again. No ring light, no makeup, just daylight and truth. "Hey, it's Lennox. I know you've seen the chaos," I began. My voice was steady, but my hands weren't. "So here's the deal. I'm done arguing. I'm showing facts." I shared my screen. Folder by folder, I walked viewers through my files. Original Heartline program creation date the 10th of July 2022. Client consent forms signed PDFs. Sloan's Heartline upload same file structure, same typo in phase 2. Stetch instead of stretch. Chat comments turned fast. "That's identical. You can't fake metadata like that. Receipts is greater than tears." Then I dropped the final piece, a screen recording of my fake settlement draft being accessed from Nathan Klein's office IP. "That's my so-called lawyer leaking to her attorney," I said. "The person I trusted." Gasps flooded the feed. "Now you know why this isn't about drama," I said. "It's about ownership. About creators who get erased because someone louder steals the mic." I ended the stream before I could cry. By evening, the clip had gone viral again, but this time, the tide had turned. Influencer watchdog accounts dissected timestamps. Tech bloggers verified my metadata. Even a cybersecurity YouTuber duetted my post saying, "This woman did her homework." And then, the bombshell dropped. Number: Heartline Gate trended worldwide after an anonymous Redditor posted leaked Slack messages from Sloan's marketing team conversations, admitting they'd borrowed my program and rebranded it before launch. One line stood out like a scar. "If Lennox finds out, we'll say she's unstable." The internet loves a villain. The comments were brutal this time for her. Brands dropped Sloan overnight. Her follower count nosedived. It should have felt like justice. But when I finally sat alone in my dark studio, it just felt quiet. Danny called, voice soft. "You did it. You won." I looked at the blinking cursor on my laptop, the next phase workout plan I hadn't touched in weeks. "Maybe," I said, "but I'm not sure what winning even means anymore." Because my name was cleared, yes, but so was my privacy, my peace, my faith in people. Then, a notification popped up, an email from Sloan Avery herself. Subject line: "Before this goes any further." Against my better judgment, I opened it. "Lennox, I don't expect forgiveness, but I need you to know, Jax wasn't working for me at first. He came to me after your video blew up. He said he could contain the damage for both of us. I didn't know he'd play us against each other. I have proof. Meet me. Alone. Attached. One blurry photo, Jax shaking hands with a man I didn't recognize, dated 3 weeks ago. The caption read, 'Final phase begins tomorrow.'" I stared at it, my pulse racing. Was she telling the truth this time, or was this another trap? I didn't know. But I did know one thing. If Jax was running something bigger than either of us, it wasn't over. Not even close. The photo burned in my brain all night. Jax's hand gripping that stranger's like a promise sealed in lies. The timestamp glared. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks into my nightmare. If Sloan was right, and that was still a big if, then Jax wasn't just her mole. He was playing both sides. By dawn, I'd made my choice. I texted Sloane 3 words. Tell me where. Her reply came instantly. Wynwood, 8 p.m., the old cafe behind the murals. No cameras. Perfect. Because I'd bring my own, that night. The cafe sat half abandoned, its neon sign flickering between open and opia. Typical Miami, too hot, too loud, too alive for ghosts. But this place felt haunted anyway. Sloane was already there, hoodie up, no glam, no ring light. Just a girl who looked like she'd finally run out of filters. For the first time, I saw the human behind the brand, scared, brittle, exhausted. She slid me a small flash drive across the table. Everything's on there, she whispered. Emails, contracts, the money trail. Jax has been working for a PR syndicate that specializes in influencer reputation management. They create scandals, control narratives, and then bill both sides. I stared at her. You're saying he manufactured this? She nodded. He found me first, promised to help me, we're brand. Then, when your video went viral, he switched to you. Said we could both win if we played it right. My pulse thudded. He wanted content. Exactly. She swallowed. He was never about truth or justice. He wanted views, chaos, clicks. I plugged the flash drive into my laptop. Inside were PDFs, invoices, even voice memos. Jax's smooth tone filled my earbuds. We control the drama, we control the algorithm. Conflict sells. By the time they figure it out, both their names will be trending. He laughed. A cold, calculated sound. They'll thank me later. Exposure is exposure. I felt sick. It wasn't just a betrayal, it was orchestration. He'd used me, used her, used our fight as fuel for engagement. The stolen program, the fake leaks, the settlement drama, all part of the show. And we'd both played our parts perfectly. The trap. I can't fix what I did, Sloane said softly, but we can end him. I studied her face, no lashes, no glitter, just regret. Okay, I said. We go live, together. She blinked. Together? Yeah. He wanted a spectacle? Let's give him one. The truth uncut. At 9 p.m. We hit go live. 2 boxes on the screen, mine and hers. The internet lost its mind instantly. What is this? The rivals together? Plot twist of the year. I took a breath. We owe you the truth, I said. All of it. Then we played the recordings. Jax's voice, the invoices, the PR plans. We showed screenshots from the flash drive, contracts listing both of us as client assets. The chat froze for a moment, then erupted. So they were both victims? This is insane. Jax is done. Sloane's eyes glistened. I let ambition make me stupid. I hurt people. I hurt her. I'm sorry, Lennox. It wasn't performative. Not this time. I nodded, my throat tight. We both got played, but I won't let him own my story anymore. Then, I looked directly into the lens. Jax Reed, wherever you are, consider this your cease and desist from both of us. The fallout. The next day, every platform carried the story. Numbered Jax Reed exposed hit #1 worldwide. Influencers, journalists, and even digital ethics lawyers weighed in. By afternoon, his PR firm's website was gone. By evening, an arrest warrant surfaced: wire fraud, defamation for profit, data theft. Turns out, our case cracked open a whole network of manufactured influencer scandals. And for once, the algorithm worked for the truth. Weeks later, my studio smells like lemon and new paint again. The neon heartline sign hums softly, unblurred, unapologetic. Enrollment's full for the first time in months. Clients stretch on the mats, while my playlist thumps quietly in the background. Danny leans against the front desk, sipping an iced latte. So, she says, you ever gonna trademark Heartline now? I grin. Already did. She smirks. Finally learning to protect yourself, huh? Yeah, I say, looking around. But not just the brand. The boundaries, too. She nods. And Sloane? She's teaching free fitness classes in Overtown. No sponsors, just community. I pause. a faint smile tugging at my lips. Guess we both found better ways to show up. The message. That night, as I lock up the studio, my phone buzzes. A DM. No username, just the words. Not every villain wears a suit, some still follow you. I freeze. Then I smile small, knowing. I open my notes app, scroll past all the old plans, and type. Heartline 2. New challenge. Rebuild, don't retaliate. Because revenge got me justice. But growth, that's what got me back. I hit save, tuck my phone into my pocket, and step into the Miami night. The air is heavy, but for once, it feels like resistance I'm built to push through. I whisper to myself, consistency is sexy, and keep walking.